Flow into gratitude as you watch and let the rhythm of this moment slow down your internal noise, not by stopping your life but by letting you notice how much of it is already working quietly in the background, like systems you never had to build but still rely on every single day. And in that simple recognition, something begins to shift about money too, because money is never only about numbers, it is about how you feel while numbers move through your hands. And most people never separate those two things. They treat money like emotion when it is actually structure, and they treat gratitude like decoration when it is actually perception. And perception decides everything long before action ever gets a chance to matter, because two people can wake up with the same opportunities, the same tools, the same 24 hours, and one of them will see limitation while the other will see direction, not because reality changed but because attention changed. And gratitude is nothing more than attention that has stopped arguing with what is already present, and when attention stops resisting the present, it becomes available again. And availability is where money quietly begins to form, not as sudden luck but as repeated clarity, repeated patience, repeated decisions that no longer come from panic but from awareness. And this is where life starts to feel different, not louder, not faster but cleaner, as if unnecessary weight is slowly being removed from every choice you make, because you are no longer trying to prove something with every action. You are simply responding to what is actually in front of you, and in that state even small things begin to matter again. A saved rupee, a saved dollar, a skill learned in silence, a habit repeated when nobody is watching, all of it starts to accumulate, not just externally but internally, as confidence. And confidence is the first currency that stabilizes everything else, because when you trust your own direction, you stop leaking energy into comparison. And comparison is one of the most expensive habits our mind can carry. It drains focus, it distorts timing, it turns progress into anxiety. And gratitude quietly dissolves that distortion by reminding you that something is already here, something is already functioning, something is already enough to build from. And when you build from what is already working instead of constantly chasing what is missing, your relationship with money stops being a chase and becomes a process, a slow unfolding of better decisions made in calmer states of mind. And in that calmness, you begin to notice opportunities that were always present but previously invisible, because noise was louder than awareness and now awareness is louder than noise. And that is the real turning point, not a dramatic moment, not a sudden breakthrough, but a subtle internal reorganization where life stops feeling like it is happening against you and starts feeling like it is happening with you. And in that shift, gratitude is no longer something you practice, it is something you live through. Every decision, every pause, every adjustment, every small act of discipline that quietly builds a future you do not have to force, because it begins to form naturally from clarity and presence. And from that place, money is no longer an escape or a reward, it becomes a reflection of how aligned your attention has become with reality itself.